力を貸すな。でも牽制だけでいい。かまいたちの術。
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Ace Operative, and today, people, I will be reviewing Boruto Naruto The Next Generation, episode 44, Shikadai's Doubts. Yo, I must admit, I love this freaking episode. I think I guess we can call this the Byakuya Gang arc has been, for me personally, this has to be one of my most favorite arcs out of Boruto, out of the whole Boruto anime. Because, dog, it is shrouded in so much mystery. And the Byakuya gangs, their activities, dog, they steal from the rich to give to the poor. While some view it as, you know, like something very noble, at the same time, these are crimes. Because you're stealing from rich people and you're giving those to the poor. Good and bad, it doesn't mix. It has to be one or the other. You can't mix the two. That's how I personally feel. And now we got it has gotten so bad to a point where the police is actually involving the New Guinea, I call them the new Konoha 12, in on this for them to, one, keep surveillance. That's the only thing. They just want these kids to keep surveillance of any activities that the Byakuya gang have launched. If they see anything suspicious, notify their closest jonin and, you know, don't confront them. Now, our boy Iwabe, dog. Iwabe was all like, yo, Boruto, we're going to capture these guys, right? And we actually see Iwabe, like, see these guys. And he goes to try and confront them with his team. And he put up, I think it was like a mud wall or a mud dome, earth dome, or whatever you call it. And he was actually able to capture them. And when I had saw that, I was like, yo, Iwabe has grown so freaking much. This guy is actually thinking with his head for once. Now, at first, I was like, wow, they actually caught them. So I guess they can now interrogate them. Wrong. These guys were actually able to bust through. And one of the dudes, like the ice user, he had shot an ice. He shot an ice shard right at Dinky. But Metal Lee had jumped in and tried to swat it away. But in doing so, it injured his, I guess, right or left arm. And he had to go to the hospital to get it. He had to go to the hospital to, like, receive emergency care. Now, this was the thing that I didn't like. There was, I think, a jonin, or I guess a chunin, or whatever, which seemed like Dinky Iwabe and Metal's squad leader, Udon. Now, when I found out his name, I was instantly thinking of udon noodles. But he had scolded Iwabe for acting so rashly and not following proper procedure. And I was like thinking to myself, was that scolding needed? All Iwabe wanted to do was to make sure that, one, this guy did not get away and apprehend them. But he was all like totally against that. Now, as the episode went on, we saw that so many people in the village had loved these guys. Like, what they did was righteous and just. And I'm just like here saying, like, how brain dead can these people be? Because I'm like here thinking also to myself, like, yo, there's a secret motive behind this. Like, these guys can't be doing it for you know, like, all the fame and recognition. There is a secret motive to the Byakuya gang that we just haven't found out yet. And then we see Himawari. Himawari was with Hinata and Boruto, and they were having dinner. And she was like asking them about the Byakuya gang. And Boruto saw like her interest in it, because I think from the way in which I looked at it, it was like she was interested in the Byakuya Gang because she had thought that what they were doing was, good. But Boruto had to correct her and say, no, it's not. And like once it's a wrong, it's always a wrong. They're stealing from people. Like from what I said in the beginning, these people are stealing from people. It's not right. No matter how you look at this, it isn't right. And so as the episode went on, we see like a good number of the Byakuya Gang members together in one circle, and they were like planning the next attack. They were thinking about, striking a pawn shop not far from where Shikadai and the mysterious kid from the previous episode played shogi. Now, speaking of this mysterious kid, we find out his name is Ryugi. And Ryugi had saw that spot and he had remembered, yo, I need to see Shikadai and play shogi with him. So he leaves early. Now this is where credit the fan for me. Why did Ryugi's dad said that his own freaking son was a pawn? He like dead behind said it. He said it when he had already left out. One of the members had asked, should we be worried about, like him going off? He had said, no, we don't need to worry about him. He's such a good pawn. And I was like, you're this kid's dad. Why would you say that about your own son? Now, while all that was going on, we see that the episode had switched off from the Byakuya Gang onto I forgot what this guy's name, but it's the guy that helped Boruto cheat. I forgot his name. Katasuke. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Katasuke, but I'm not sure. But he was showing Boruto some games in which he had gotten like limited edition games for him to play. And every time that I see him, I'm here thinking, guys, the next arc got to be the Chunin exams. It has to be, because they setting up nothing but plot. They setting it up. They setting it up because he's even talking about he's developing a ninja tool which is able to allow people to have various types of juices. Maybe he didn't say it in that type of language, but he hinted at that. And when I had heard that, I was instantly thinking, yo, my dudes, this is incredible. This is incredible because I'm like here looking at it this way. I'm looking at it as so this is where Boruto starts to make that change, because I was always like wondering, why would Boruto cheat? He's such a prodigy. But after seeing all these episodes leading up to this point, and it might not be this exact point, but you can already see where the pattern is going. Boruto's attitude. I want to see personally, where did Boruto like lose that momentum in which he had, like when it comes to cheating? Where did he go wrong? Where did he, stop believing in himself and just chose to cheat? But we're going to say that for when we get to it. Now Shikadai met up with Ryugi, and they were and Ryugi was asking Shikadai some interesting questions, and he was like asking, yo, do you like the village? And Shikadai had said, like, yeah, it's okay, I guess. Like his answers to Ryugi's questions were so nonchalant, like it was like he was saying, yeah, I guess it's okay or whatever. And the more he continued like questioning him, it wasn't until Boruto had showed up and like bragged that, yo, I got the latest game, the limited edition of that game in which Katasuke had given him. And when Boruto looked at Ryugi, and he had done the normal trope that a lot of animes as well as TV shows do, like, have we met before? And when he had said that, I was like, oh my god. But this is what threw me off, though. This is what threw me off about Ryugi. So Ryugi had some place to be, which was with the Byakuya Gang, because they were going to rob the pawn shop, right? Tell me why Ryugi, actually like left, and you know, like he kicked up some cold air to like mask his identity. I felt like, why was that necessary? Why couldn't he just like run off and, you know, like nobody questioned it? But I felt like Shikadai saw that. Shikadai saw that, and he literally like knew that this guy was part of the Byakuya Gang. So as all this started to happen, this is why I'm starting to like. I was saying I was a little worried about this, like in the beginning of the Boruto anime. Like once the kids graduate, we're never going to see these kids again. But yo, Sumire as well as her teammates, dog, they were in the corner in the cut watching these guys rob on the pawn shop. And one of, I forgot, I think her name's Ninda or something. I need to learn these chicks' name, but she had went off to get like a Joni or someone higher up to let them know that, yo, the pawn shop's getting robbed. So while they were like doing the little stakeout, they noticed them and they literally cornered them. It wasn't until Tawaran came in, swept them, blew them away with her fan, and yo, she had pursued them. And while she was pursuing them, she ran into Shikadai. She even asked Shikadai like to come help her, but Shikadai was so hesitant. I was like, boy, why are you hesitant in helping your mom? She coordinated her assault with Boruto and told Boruto, yo, you know, help me out or whatever. And Boruto did what he could with the shadow clones, but he wasn't able to get close. And that was the where Shikadai had a chance to apprehend this guy, but he allowed them to slip away. And then when it got down to a point where they were alone, like once they had already retreated or whatever, she had asked, like, that was so unlike you to be so hesitant. You usually have keen instincts. Like, what we know about Shikadai, like Shikadai, if he sees an opportunity to get somebody, he gets somebody. But he didn't this time. And you want to know the reason why? It's because he knew that was Ryugi he was up against. So he didn't want to capture his own friend. And that was the reason why Shikadai did what he did. Now, this is where as we near the end of the episode, this is where things, I see things just getting a little weird. Because, like, we saw earlier where Ryugi's dad like, called him a pawn, but it's like there's some history behind those two, and it's not really fleshed out near the end, but you know there's history there. But I'm so sorry that this review I went on too long, but I thoroughly love this freaking episode because it flushed out so many people's like abilities. Like to see everyone come together and work together to try and apprehend these guys, it was so freaking cool and it was unbelievable. Just the people that Boruto I went to school with, they're not, you know, like irrelevant. They're still here and they still, you know, like helping out the village in whatever way they can. And I cannot wait for the next episode because I can tell like this kid's backstory. I'm hoping, praying that it's going to be like super deep, and I can't wait to see how they're going to operate on these guys. But guys, let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. Did you like it? Was this episode meant for you? Guys, let me know because I love this episode. Thank you all for watching. Operatives, move out.